Hey everybody, it's Glenn back with another Clash Royale analysis video. Let's take a look at the CEL Americas going on right now. This was a really fascinating game between Olimpo Squad and Ayllus Peru. Viktor versus Bolivar. This ended up being a Three Musketeers Hog deck, which has grown in popularity over the last month or so against a Lumberloon. As you see, you can probably guess who's running Lumberloon. It's Viktor, because he brings in Lumberjack right away and a Musketeer. But that Musketeer is going to get slapped by Royale Ghost, but then it gets stopped by the Ice Golem. So that frees up the Musketeer. Meanwhile, we have Bolivar coming in with three Musketeers in the back. And Viktor lets it go. I was really surprised by that. I was really surprised Viktor let it go over here on the left side where two Musketeers, yeah, he throws a log down, but that's three shots on the tower. When perhaps he could have done a little bit more defense, but this is what it's about right here, the Lumberloon. And the Lumberjack's going to get absolutely wrecked, but that's the whole point. It just didn't work in the timing that it did. So the idea, if you haven't played Lumberloon, be warned. It's really it just hits you in the gut, you know, when you see it. But the idea is this is exactly what is supposed to happen right here. So you got Lumberjack and Balloon coming in, and everybody just targets their attention toward Lumberjack. And when they do, that frees up the Balloon not only to get to the tower, but to get to the tower faster. The only thing was that this Hunter stayed back and said, no, that Balloon's just not going to get there that easily. And the snowball should have pushed. The snowball idea was to get this Hunter over to take care of this Lumberjack, but it didn't happen. It's game of inches. Crazy. So nothing doing on that first sequence by both players, and we know that Hogs and Three Musketeers are going to come together at some point. It's just going to be a matter of how Viktor will answer it when he faces it against Bolivar. So Viktor tries to go to the left side to answer this Royale Ghost. Royale Ghost probably is the worst legendary in the game now, I would say. Meanwhile, we have something on the right side, and this is where the game turned, because that Hunter came in and didn't take care of the Balloon, and there's nothing taking care of the Balloon. Let's rewind that, because this is the first part of what ended up being a really wild match. So the focus is on the left side. We have Lumberjack trying to take care of this Royale Ghost. Fine. But while that's happening, Viktor has saved up enough elixir on the right side to get this Balloon ready. Now initially it's just okay. This Balloon is going to get escorted there by the Ice Golem. Fine. You know, a lot of people do this. Gets escorted by the Ice Golem, and then if you bring in a troop, they're going to have to finish off the Ice Golem first. Then the Balloon, it's too late. It's done. But look at what Viktor did. He brought in a Musketeer because he was guessing that, okay, Hunter's going to come in first, but Hunter still has to answer to the Ice Golem. And it's just enough spacing. I mean, talk about spacing. This is just enough spacing for the Musketeer to get to that Hunter and takes out the Hunter. And who else is there to stop the Balloon? Nobody. So now the game turns into, okay, what is going to happen to what's going to happen for Bolivar? Is he going to find a way to tower trade? And it looked like right here this is going to be a tower trade all the way to the finish, but then Viktor brings in a Lumberjack. I honestly thought that in the beginning, I think it seemed like Viktor was going to be accepting of a tower trade. But then when he realized he had enough elixir to drop in a lumberjack, not only that lumberjack, but if you see what was happening there, the lumberjack came in and pushed the bandit. So now the bandit has to answer to the lumberjack. And I think at that moment the game turned. I mean, obviously the balloon and the musketeer hitting that hunter was really, really great. I think that this moment right here gave Viktor that kind of boost to say, okay, we can win it here. We don't have to go to a 2-tower victory. We can win it right here. Even though, I mean, he knows that Bolivar is going to bring in 3 Musketeers in the back and then Royal Hogs at some point. But this is winnable right here. And I think he realized that at this point right here. The moment this lumberjack came in, now this lumberjack's not going to do anything. So that's really here nor there. But it's now up to, okay, what is Viktor going to do to answer this push? Because Royal Hogs is coming. He brings in Musketeer on the right side, which I thought was fascinating. And it makes sense because, yes, the bigger push is on the left. But if the Musketeer and this Ice Golem try to answer that, they're just going to get absolutely destroyed. And so it's better to make sure that this tower's safe here and bring in that second set of defense over on the left side. And that second set of defense is Cage with Log and Snowball. That Snowball missed those Musketeers. That was huge because I thought, okay, well, if it missed those Musketeers, that may open up the opportunity for Bolivar to get both towers right here. And so not only is the Musketeer for Viktor able to stop those Hogs, if you look at the positioning here, it timed out really well where this Musketeer is right in front of the tower. So even if this Musketeer comes down or another enemy like a Royal Ghost comes down, they have to answer this Musketeer. But it looks like all of Bolivar's troops are going to be positioned on the right side. You see like how he put the bandit here, heal spirit, and by a miracle of miracles, that rage was just enough to get the brawler over to the right side and stop that push right there. Meanwhile, on the right side, I thought the Barbarian was going to do enough, and it didn't. Oh, just one slice, and now another push. Hogs, Snowball, Musketeer, and even that looked like it was going to be enough, and it wasn't. It was mind blowing, this game. So let's break down both sides at the end here. Okay. So we have the 3 Musketeers that come in. This is expected. This is the way Bolivar has to play this in order to get the push he needs. This is the push for the. It seemed like this was the push for the win, not for the tie. This is for the, not for overtime. This was to win it right here. This is exactly what Bolivar's planning. The moment he got to the bridge, he has enough elixir to drop Royal Hogs, and then it just becomes overwhelming for Viktor. Okay, now let's focus on the left side of what's happening over here. Okay, so he has 2 Musketeers, Royal Ghost, and what should be 2 Hogs, but they're all going to go to the cage. Brings in Heal Spirit and Bandit. This looks like it's going to be well more than enough, but then this Lumberjack comes in. The idea of this Lumberjack is not, it may seem like, okay, this idea of the Lumberjack is to get rid of everybody and save the day. When you look at it, it really wasn't. It was kind of like, okay, if this Musketeer, if this Lumberjack can can attack some of the troops here. That's good. But really, if this brawler can stay alive as long as possible, and this I keep saying musketeer, this lumberjack goes down, then it's going to be raged up, and it will be able to finish off everybody else. It's really about this bandit right here. Can this bandit do its job and get rid of the lumberjack first, which is intended? And now you just got to hope that this brawler here finishes off at least these musketeers. These musketeers are on the tower. And nope, it has to deal with bandit first, then the musketeer. That was incredible. Okay, so now we looked at the right side. Now we looked at the left side. Now let's look at the right side here. We got one musketeer, which is intended. Okay, if this musketeer can do her job by herself and get this tower, then at least minimum have a tie. It's going to be supported by 2 hogs on right here, but it's really 4 hogs, as I mentioned earlier. You know, they're all coming to center for cage. But the problem is that when Viktor brought out Musketeer here, it got escorted by the ice golem. And you see right here is when it just starts to separate. So this musketeer is not helping out anybody over here. It's having to answer to this ice golem first. And so we see this musketeer is not dealing with anything. So that frees up the opportunity for this musketeer not to deal with this other musketeer, but to deal with these hogs right here. And so it becomes, okay, she finished that. Now she has to take care of this. At the very least. And then that, by just holding it off, that was enough time to bring in another cage. Then you just hope that there's enough defense to do something else. And that heal spirit was just enough to bring it, to finish off that barbarian. Then one more push. The positioning there was, it didn't look like anything, but if you look at what happened there, this musketeer is just above the princess tower. So yeah, she's going to be around to smack those pigs, but if this musketeer was one tile lower, the royal ghost goes to the tower. By placing it right here, it's not heavily in danger. It's not trying to do drive-by. It's here. It's here, and it's not moving. So that gives them plenty. That gives them plenty of opportunity to do enough shots as possible on those enemies right here. And the royal ghost comes in, has a long way to go before going to not the tower, but right here. So this was perfect positioning by this musketeer. Right here by Viktor to place this musketeer right here, so that the royal ghost would go to the to the musketeer first, then go to the tower. Just 1 second too late. Incredible defense by Viktor for Ayllus, Peru. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I saw it because I was like, this is guaranteed overtime, or at least Bolivar is going to get 2 towers here, and didn't. And so if we look at the stats right here, I mean, this is a heavily favored game in favor of the Three Musketeers Royal Hogs deck. It only got played twice, in the beginning and toward the end when you're trying to make the last desperate push. But man, what a game, what a defense by Viktor, just playing it just enough to get the win. And it may have been the decision early to let the tower go that ended up being the difference, but I mean, it's it's game of inches. Just half second later, that towers down by the Royal Ghosts. Yeah, it's a wild one. So this was a really fascinating game, just to see where the Musketeer placement was in all of the spots during this game. So congrats to Viktor on this win. This was really fascinating. We're going to be following the CEL over the next couple weeks to see how, see the top plays, see the top games, and find out who comes out on top. So thanks for watching. I'm going to end the video right here. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe wherever you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next video.